Statins, cholesterol controversy. Statins, under various names, like Lipitor, are widely prescribed to millions of adults with the goal of reducing LDL cholesterol and, in turn, reducing the person's risk of heart disease. In the United States, the statin market was worth $15.65 billion in 2024 and is targeted to reach $25.63 billion by 2033, with about 50 million people currently on the medication. With heart disease remaining as the #1 cause of death for Americans, we need to examine the premise that LDL cholesterol has any bearing on heart disease. Further, we must assess the impact of statins on the body and look further for the true causes of coronary dysfunction. German pathologist Rudolf Virchow, in his post-mortem examinations, drew the conclusion that the thickening of people's arteries was because of cholesterol. In the 1950s, American physiologist Ancel Keys, who formulated K-rations for World War II soldiers, developed the hypothesis that saturated fat raised cholesterol and led to heart disease. Although he was accused by some of omitting data that contradicted his theory, his work is still referenced and quoted today. In the 1960s, two Harvard nutritionists, Dr. Frederick Stare and Mark Hegsted, along with colleague Dr. Robert Nagandi, were paid by the Sugar Research Foundation, which had the goal of countering any links between sugar and coronary heart disease. The final study concluded that changing fat and cholesterol intake was the only dietary modification needed to prevent coronary heart disease. Any studies that implicated sugar were discredited. Following these premises, the low-fat and high-carbohydrate model of nutrition guidelines has led us to our current state: rampant obesity, increased heart disease, and a medicated public. Of note, a contemporary of Rudolf Virchow, Austrian physician and pathologist Karl von Rokitansky, proposed that arterial plaque was caused by blood clots on the surface of the arteries, not cholesterol. Was Rokitansky right? It is a complex topic with diverse medical opinions. Let's explore further. Cholesterol. Cholesterol is a waxy type of lipid, which is not a fat, that is essential for cellular and system functions. The body makes about 3,000 milligrams of cholesterol daily, with only 25% of its cholesterol coming from food. It's a major building block for nearly everything in the body, from the brain to every single cell. Among the many purposes of cholesterol are cell membrane structure, integrity, fluidity, hormone production, including testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, and cortisol, brain function, including neurotransmitter function, memory formation, and cognition. And the brain contains 25% of the body's cholesterol. Immune system and inflammation regulation, vitamin D synthesis from sunlight exposure, bile acid production, essential for fat digestion and absorption. There are two levels of cholesterol commonly measured: low density, LDL, and high density, HDL. They have been labeled bad and good, respectively. Can that really be the case when the body is manufacturing 75% of its own cholesterol? There are some side effects of statin use: muscle pain and muscle weakness, increased blood sugar levels and risk of type 2 diabetes, fatigue and low energy, lowered testosterone levels in men and women, cognitive issues, memory problems, confusion, liver damage, and raised liver enzymes, depletion of coenzyme Q10, compromising mitochondria, and increased risk of erectile dysfunction. What is atherosclerosis? Many modern doctors have argued that cholesterol is unrelated to heart disease and that reducing cholesterol in the body through medication has significant harmful effects. There was a full documentary on this subject titled Statin Nation, and I'll put a link to that in the description. The researchers explained that atherosclerosis, or buildup of plaque in the artery walls, is a repair mechanism by the body to heal a break. It includes cholesterol as a building block, but cholesterol is not the cause. To find what damages the arterial wall is to find the cause of heart disease. They contend that commercial interests influence research funding, and the conclusions support the funders. Chasing cholesterol numbers may not be a viable path to follow, given the diversity of medical opinion. Lifestyle factors play a much greater role in overall well-being and heart health. You already know what they are: a diet of whole, unprocessed foods, organic if possible, weight management through nutrition and exercise, removal of harmful substances such as tobacco and alcohol, quality restful sleep to heal and restore the body, stress management to reduce cortisol levels, physical activity, resistance and high-intensity interval training, social connections, and community ties. If you are currently taking statins, then of course, you must confer with your doctor before making any changes to your intake. If you are not taking statins, I hope you have found some valuable insights to avoid them. For an in-depth look at healthy living, I recommend Paul Chek's book, How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy. Hi, I'm Ellen McCurdy, and if you enjoyed my free digital report, The Big Three Things That Are Harming You and You Don't Even Know It, you might want to get my ebook, 12 Dangers to Your Best Life and How to Fix Them. It comes with several bonuses, including wall art, a tracker, and another digital report on bladder leaks. The link will be in the description, or you can go to my website, triumphandgrace.com. Thank you. Talk to you later.